years, and this is the first time in 8 years that I have a boyfriend on Valentine's Day. So naturally, I don't know how this shit works. I bought him the most unhinged gift ever. Come along with me for the ride, okay? Let's rewind though, 10 years ago, okay? The guy that I'm dating right now, his name is Kevin. The guy that I was dating 10 years ago, the year was 2012, his name was also Kevin. Kevin number 1. Kevin number 2 hates when I call him that.
Oh, you're not talking to me. I'm not number 2.
Because he doesn't like being Kevin number 2. Anyways, listen. Kevin number 1 was tall, Lebanese, blue-eyed, dark hair. You already know where the story's going, okay? So, me and him are dating or whatever, and one day I get this text message from this girl that I used to work with at Costa Blanca, like, 6 years before this. My girl said, hey, how do you know Kevin? I said, because I'm dating him. She goes, that's crazy because I'm literally his girlfriend of 7 years. I said, that's hilarious because he said y'all broke up a long time ago. And she said, bitch, are you kidding me? I know you see those pictures of me all over his home. Bitch, dead in the eyeballs. I didn't. I was texting her. I said, what pictures? She said, call me. So I get on the phone. I call her. She's like, girl, what do you mean there's no pictures? I said, there's no fucking pictures of you in her apartment. She said, that's fucking crazy because there's literally a wall of photos of both of us in his bedroom. There's no way you didn't see them. I said, babes, when I tell you I have never seen a single photo of you in his apartment, I have never seen a single photo of you. That means that this man, every day when I came over, would take down a wall of photos of her. And then every day when she came over, would put them right back up. And the craziest part is that he still lived at home at the time. He lived with his mommy and daddy and his brother, and they were all in on it. Whatever. So, me and the girl were talking back and forth. We catch him cheating. We give him a call. We're like, hey, babes, you've been caught. Dude gets caught cheating. He decides, he messages me. He's like, we're done. Babe, yeah, duh. Obviously, we're done. He then messages her a nice long suicide note. Because what? Because... I'll save the rest of the story for another time. Let's fast forward back to 2023. I'm dating Kevin number 2, and me and Kevin number 2, he's at my house making me dinner, right? And he's chopping up cilantro, and he goes, oh, wait, no, I'm not going to put it in there because you don't like cilantro. I said, what do you mean I don't like cilantro? He's like, no, you told me you don't like cilantro. I said, babes, I have never in my life said that because I'm fucking Afghan, and we put cilantro on everything. So what bitch were you making food for that doesn't like cilantro? Because it wasn't me. He said, babe, are you asking me if I'm seeing other people? I said, yes. He said, I'm not seeing nobody else. I said, that's crazy, though, because obviously you're cooking for some bitch who doesn't like cilantro. Anyways, whatever. We became exclusive that day. I could have just asked him if he was seeing other people, but I decided to be crazy. So now every time me and him get in a fight, I say, you know what, babes? Why don't you go back to cilantro, girl? So as we're eating dinner, the dinner that he made me with cilantro in it, I decided to tell him the story of Kevin number 1. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up a bunch of pictures of myself in your apartment so that all these bitches, cilantro girl included, know that you have a girlfriend. He said, babe, that's totally cool. So for Valentine's Day, because I'm unhinged, I asked my sister to draw me, my sister's an artist. I said, can you draw me but with a head of cilantro? I'm going to give it to Kevin as a gift. She said, bet. And so this is his Valentine's Day gift. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Just a reminder, if you're, freaking out about Valentine's Day, being alone on Valentine's Day, being single, it could always be worse. Exactly 10 years ago on Valentine's Day, I came home to get prepared to go to dinner with my then boyfriend, and I'd gotten him some cute little boxers from his favorite comic or Marvel comic, I don't know, whatever, and a balloon, right? Nothing that egregious. Went and got in the shower. He saw the gift, freaked out because he hadn't gotten me a gift. Went to Jared's Jewelers, bought me an engagement ring on my credit card that he took. It was the wrong size because, he didn't know my size because he wasn't planning on doing any of this, and he just freaked out. Then we missed our dinner reservations. I was like, what the hell, where were you? Met up with our friends who were at a singles party at a bar, and at 11:55 in front of bottle service girls, he proceeded to propose to me. Bottle service girls and a whole bunch of single people who were at said singles party. I have no idea what he said, couldn't hear it, but I said yes because that's what you do. And then 32 days later, when the bill came in the mail and I realized he'd bought it on my credit card, he was like, don't worry, I'll pay the monthly amount. And I was like, what are you talking about? We're done. So your Valentine's Day could be worse.
All I'm gonna say is I thought we were all single, right? I thought we were all on the same page here. But it's Valentine's Day, and I found out that everybody is in a relationship. everybody has posted their boyfriend, girlfriend, and I'm like, like, that's odd. Why have I seen your boyfriend in every one of my liked stories? And why have I seen your girlfriend out at every man's table? But apparently you guys been dating for fucking a year now. You've never, no one's ever posted anyone before. Have we've ever seen this amount of boyfriend, girlfriend posts? No. Today, though, like, I'm so confused.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Hello. So Robin went around the dealership and asked everybody what their worst Valentine's Day was, and some of them wrote them down, and I'm going to read them.
We don't know who they belong to. We just know it's an employee here.
Okay. The first one. My red roses were beautiful, but smelled like funeral flowers, and the stuffed musical bear wouldn't make a sound. Dud.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's read this one. I was being intimate with my boyfriend, and he lost the key to the handcuffs. Oh, God. And we had to call the fire department to cut them off.
I don't know who that could be.
That was anonymous. Let's see what this one says.
Did somebody sign them?
No,
Oh, okay.
They're just anonymous. Just started very strict diet and got a box of 60 chocolates, bursted into tears. Oh, Jesus.
There went that diet.
Out the window.
Or the relationship was gone by then.
Yeah. This one says, the year I got a blank card for Valentine's Day. That's not thoughtful.
Blank, nothing in it.
Okay.
Well, they did spend money, though. Think about it.
Yeah.
They bought it. Or it could have been from last year.
Oh, probably got it at the Dollar Tree. This one says, was walking to my car from English literature class when I got a text from a girl that my husband had been sexting her. We are divorced now.
That was pretty bad.
Good Lord. Okay.
Any more?
Yes, I have a few more.
Okay. Okay, we have 2 left.
Was served divorce papers in my Valentine's Day card.
That's bad. Terrible.
I said Valentine's. This one says, walked in from being out of town for a meeting to my wife and another man having dinner at our table.
Guys, girls, you got to do better next year. Let us know what's your worst.
That's whack.
So the worst Valentine's Day of my life happened a few years ago when I was dating a really big D-bag. And this guy had me head over heels, totally fooled, totally in love. For Valentine's Day, we decided that we weren't going to do any gifts whatsoever. Like, let's just like go have dinner together, whatever. So color me surprised when he came home with a bag from Kay's Jewelers. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, we weren't doing gifts. Like, this is so unexpected. How romantic of you. And this man was playing it up. He was like, yeah, this is a really big deal. I just want you to know, like, this means a lot to me. This is a really big step. So here you go. And he hands me the bag. So my heart's like pounding, beating out of my chest. I get the bag and I'm like rummaging around in it, and I don't feel a box, but I feel a little piece of paper. So I pull the paper out and it's like folded up. So I like unfold it, and the note says, just kidding. Yeah. Just kidding. This man is rolling on the floor, giggling it up, eating this whole situation up, and is like, I can't believe you fell for it. And I am just completely in shock, welling up with tears. And all of a sudden he realizes maybe that wasn't such a good idea. And what's even more terrifying is this man taught children for a living. And he was like, oh, all of my coworkers said I shouldn't do this, but I just thought it was too funny to pass up. So this story time is just to serve as a reminder that you can be so deeply in love and just head over heels and completely have the wool pulled over your eyes. But when your partner's mean, it's time to go. It ain't working. That's not funny. That's just mean and hurtful. And honey, I promise you, life gets so much better and you're going to find a way better partner. Happy Valentine's Day.
If you guys are single on Valentine's Day, I have 3 horror stories for you to listen to and feel better about yourself from when I was not single on Valentine's Day, and they were way worse than any Valentine's Day I spent single. Let's go. Horror story 1, I wasn't technically in a relationship, but I'd been talking to this guy for like 4 months, and we had posted together on social media like a couple days before Valentine's Day, and then Valentine's Day comes around and I'm like expecting something because it was the first time I talked to a guy. I didn't realize that people just lead people on for like, I don't even know why, to waste their time, your time, everyone's time. They're just, I didn't get it. I didn't understand that was something that could happen. So Valentine's Day comes around and I'm waiting for a message or something, and then he ends up texting me something like, I can't deal with all the drama. Like, I was like, what? Like, referring to the fact that we posted on social media. He's like, I just want to like work on my stuff or whatever. And I was like, there's something going on here. This is crazy. And then I called him and I was like, okay, be honest, like, are you leading me on or like what? And then he was like, yeah. Like, low-key, he was just like, yeah, honestly. Like, I was like, oh my God. And I had been like talking to him like at every waking, it was actually insane. I was like, why are you wasting your own time? Like, wild. But I'm so grateful for that experience because like I learned so much. Like, I learned about like red flags. Like, it was like my not manipulation, but it was like my red flag crash course, and it really helped me in the future with like a 99% success rate. So that was heartbreaking, and then we like stopped talking. So that was my Valentine's Day. Horror story 2, it's Valentine's Day and I'm like boxing training, and I have my gift for my boyfriend in the car, and then I like drive back from boxing and I'm like, here you are. And something about me in relationships is like I get nervous that I'm like not expressing myself enough, and so I really enjoy like getting gifts that are very like thought out and like show that I know the person and like what they like, and because I feel like I can't communicate myself clearly, so like all my gifts are very thought out. Like, I really try. And so I show up back at my apartment with my gift for him, and I'm like, happy Valentine's Day. And he's like, opens it, he loves it, and then he's like, I gotta go get a prescription at CVS. And so I'm like, okay. So he didn't have a Valentine's Day present for me, and then went to CVS and got like my favorite candy and like some stuff day of, and all from CVS. And I was just like, dude, like, we all know when Valentine's Day is. And this was after my last horror story, so I was like so excited to be in a relationship, and like on Valentine's Day I was so excited about it. Like, I really hyped it up, and then I was like, there's no way you day of went to go get a present. And then he's like, no, Tress, I'm so sorry, like, we're gonna go to dinner tonight. Made no reservations for anywhere in the city of Los Angeles, and then drove me to a ghost kitchen thinking it was a restaurant, and then we went back to my apartment. That's horror story 2. Horror story 3, I was like begging my boyfriend to come see me for Valentine's Day. I was like, dude, please come see me for Valentine's. Like, it was a whole thing. And I had, obviously my well thought out gift, and, we exchanged gifts. I loved his gift. It was really like awesome. And then, I gave him mine, and he like loved it, but he never took it home. So a couple months later, we like I broke up with him. And then months and months after that, I was back at my mom's house, and on the floor, I saw my Valentine's Day present that I got him, and I lost it. Like, I saw it as like, in my mind, I was like, this is a metaphor for like all this work I put in and nothing. Like, you can't even take the gift home, and now we're broken up, and I have like this gift. It was just sitting like on the floor by my desk, by my computer, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I started crying. I literally have a video of it, like me crashing out. I'm gonna put it in here. It was not funny. Like, it ruined my day. Like, I saw it and broke down. Months later, I was like, I got this nice gift. I was thinking about it, and now we're broken up, and he didn't even take it home. Like, goodbye. Horror stories. So I hope these make you feel better. Wild stuff that I've been through. And I hope that everyone who's in a relationship does not have to go through these horrors. I hope everyone has a lovely Valentine's Day. My lips are so dry. I'm sorry.
I'm making dinner for my boyfriend for Valentine's Day. We're having gnocchi. It's gonna be great. But that really got me thinking about the first Valentine's Day that I was single after me and my like long-term high school boyfriend broke up. I have to step away. It's so hot in there. I went to IHOP with a guy who I probably hadn't seen since New Year's Eve, where we went outside by ourselves, and he asked me to take a home make clothes to prove to him that I had a rocking body in like sub-zero freezing temperatures. I did, because I had really low self-esteem. That's not the point. So he asked me to go to IHOP with him. It's Valentine's Day. We get there. He gives me a hug, maybe, I don't know. It's uncomfortable a little bit. The waitress comes over and she says, oh my God, guys, happy Valentine's Day. And he looks so disgusted. He looks
so angry and upset because I don't think he realized it was Valentine's Day, which, come on, I think we know that he did. He just didn't want to be alone. But he acted like he did not want to be there with me for Valentine's Day. He did not want to be my Valentine. So it was a pretty uncomfortable breakfast, honestly. He didn't really act like he wanted me to be there, even though he asked me to be there. So whatever, we eat breakfast, we talk a little bit, it's fine. He also smells really bad. Like, it's truly just like an awful date. But I had, again, really low self-esteem because just got out of this relationship. I lost a bunch of weight. Okay, I didn't really value my worth. Okay, so we're in the parking lot, we're leaving, gives me another hug, smells bad, whatever. Not 2 minutes, like after I leave this parking lot, he calls me and says, hey, can I come take a shower at your house? Sir, are you fucking... Sheer audacity of this man to act like he hates me for all of breakfast and act so fucking embarrassed that he took me out on Valentine's Day, only to then call me and ask if he could take a shower because he went to law school down south, so he had a drive ahead of him. So he wanted to take a shower before his drive. And we all know he didn't want to take a shower. He wanted to hook up, just like he knew it was Valentine's Day. He just didn't want to act like he liked me because, I don't know, I think he was a literal sociopath. I mean, like, of course I said no, but then, yeah, maybe I did see him again another time. He hated me. So if you are single and alone this Valentine's Day and you are just feeling sad about it, at least you are not having IHOP with someone who actually couldn't give a shit if you lived or died. Happy Valentine's Day.
Ladies, I need you guys to listen to this story if you were dating. This is urgent. This is serious. Pay attention. So I met a guy on Instagram and he DM'd me and insisted on taking me out on a date. So we planned this last week and it ended up landing on Valentine's Day. I told him, hey, if it's weird for you because it's Valentine's Day, we don't have to do it today. And he was like, no, it's totally fine. Let's just meet up. We ended up going to a ramen spot because I was craving ramen. And when I pull up, he's got these flowers in his hand. He's got the Valentine's Day balloon. I'm thinking it's so cute. Like, I'm totally going for this shit. I'm like, yeah. When we get in the restaurant, I ask him, like, what do you do? And he's like, well, you know, I just be out here. I said, what does that mean? He goes, you know, I be serving. Strike one. Then he proceeds to tell me that he doesn't have any degrees because he got kicked out of college. He just quit his apprenticeship because his boss made him mad because he asked for him to come in 15 minutes early. Okay. Then he proceeded to tell me that he used to sell drugs for his ex-girlfriend's dad, that he used to hit her, that he waited for her ex outside of her job because she was cheating on him with someone that she worked with, and that he only went to jail 3 times, and 2 was for domestic violence. When I tell you the whole time he was talking, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. So I'm like, waitress, hey, yeah, we'll get 2 checks. We'll get 2. He's like, no, I'll pay for you. I'm like, no, I insist. I don't need you paying for anything, but he did it anyway. It is what it is, okay? Ladies, moral of the story is this. When you're dating, stop thinking it's all about you. Stop trying to tell him what you do, who you are. You need to listen. Listen to what a guy is saying. Let the guy talk. Because let me tell you, throughout this whole date, this whole meetup, whatever you want to call it, this horror story, I barely spoke. He just kept explaining himself, but just telling me so many things, and it let me know off rip he was not it. Not it at all. Ladies, be careful when you're going out on dates. Be careful not to let a guy pick you up on the first date because he also wanted to do that, but I insisted on meeting up. And ask important questions. If you're in your late 20s, your 30s, it's time to tighten up. Dating is not to be all cute and stuff anymore. I'm not saying to take everything seriously, but you need to get to know who somebody is. And if you just sit down and shut the fuck up and listen, you'll come across a nutcase like this and be able to just say, you know what? I'm good, but I'm good. And afterwards, honestly, I prayed for him. It was so heavy on me, the conversation that he kept telling me. I prayed. But with that being said, ladies, good luck with dating. Not every guy is like that, but be careful.
In the spirit of Valentine's Day, I'm going to tell you guys my worst Valentine's Day ever. This probably took place 4 or 5 years ago. I was with my ex. He was awful. Quite possibly the worst, literal worst person I've ever been with my whole entire life. The relationship lasted as long as a pregnancy. If I saw him to this day, I would absolutely bump him with my car incredibly hard. So on this particular Valentine's Day, I was working and my friend calls me and is like, your boyfriend's outside of his ex-girlfriend's house. And I was like, what? Full panic mode. I'm like ready to throw up and cry at the same time. Anxiety is thriving in my body. I'm like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way he is doing this right now. So I'm texting and calling him, and he's not answering. I literally leave like the saddest fucking voicemail on his phone. I'm literally crying outside in the back of the salon. Like, my friend just called me and told me you're outside your ex-girlfriend's house. Like, tell me this isn't freaking true right now. On all days. And I told her, I literally gaslighted myself in it because she was like, no, it was him. I swear to God, it was him. It was his car, everything. And honestly, I was like, no, this isn't him. He FaceTimed me and he was at home. Given he lives like less than 5 minutes from his ex-girlfriend's house. But he FaceTimes me, picks up the FaceTime, and he is like, I'm at home. Like, this is my little sister. His little sister was there. And I was like, oh, okay. I told her, I was like, you're wrong. Like, he's at home. He's out. As if he can't fucking drive fast from her house to his house. I should have believed her. I should have believed her. Anyway, he decides he doesn't want to talk to me after that because I thought that he was cheating on me and he was at his ex-girlfriend's house. So he was like, oh, I'm mad at you now. I don't want to talk to you. So then refused to talk to me. And then at like 8 o'clock at night when I get out of work, he's like, okay, yeah, so we can hang out. Let's just go get Chinese food or something. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got home and I was like, all right, are you going to pick up like before you get here? Like, am I going to call in and you'll pick it up? And he's like, sure. Comes to my house and I was like, oh, where's the Chinese food? He's like, what are you talking about? You were supposed to call and pick it up yourself. Literal piece of shit. So I had to call and get it now fucking delivered. And I paid for it. And we literally like ate, watched a movie, and this probably all took 45 minutes. 45 minutes in total. He's like, oh, I have to go pick my cousin up from the airport now. I'm leaving. I literally sat there like, what are you talking about? Look, an idiot. Yeah, I have to go pick up my cousin. He leaves. Guess what? Turns out he goes to pick her up. He literally picked her up from a party and they hooked up that night. And I only found out because I saw her like a year later at the beach and I asked her about it and she told me. And that was my worst Valentine's Day story, guys. I hope you guys have a happy Valentine's Day. And if I ever see my ex in the streets, he's gonna catch these hands.
Let's talk about how my ex-boyfriend regifted me my own phone for Valentine's Day. For those who didn't follow me before, if you take a quick glimpse at my page, you will see that I used to be in an abusive relationship. So one of his tactics was control. So about 8 months before the Valentine's Day that I'm talking about, we got into a really bad fight, and he had this thing where he thought that he could take my belongings, and on this particular fight he took my phone and wouldn't return it back to me. So many days went by that he really was not trying to give me back my phone, that I had to file my insurance claim with my phone company at the time and report it stolen so that I could get a new phone. So he was aware that I was gonna go file my insurance to get my new phone because he wouldn't give me mine back. So he was aware of this and he did not care. He actually found it kind of funny. So Valentine's Day is coming around, and he also had a thing where if we would argue close to a holiday, whether it be Christmas or Valentine's Day, if we got into an argument, he would return all the gifts he had already bought for me. So he would basically treat me like if I was a child, and he would punish me if we had arguments by returning my gifts. This Valentine's Day was no different. We fought and he returned all the presents that he had bought for me. So Valentine's Day comes around. I give him his gift because I didn't return it because I'm not a child like him. He's giving me my gift, and can you guess what he's gifting me? He had gifted me the phone he took from me like 8 months before. And I couldn't even do anything with the phone because I had reported it stolen so that I could get a new phone. He literally left me speechless. So yeah, I am so glad I got out of that relationship. It was super manipulative and toxic, and I don't date shitty men like that anymore, so.
When I was 25, I spent Valentine's Day with my soulmate. We met a couple years before, and the moment I met him, I'm like, I've met this person before. Instant chemistry. Like, we knew each other. Second Valentine's Day together, and I remind him that it's Valentine's Day, of course. He's like, oh, I didn't book off work. And I was like, oh, okay, well then we'll just go somewhere after work. So he gets off at like 11:30. Nothing's really open, so we just kind of drive around until we pass a 24-hour diner, and we're like, okay, I guess this is where we're going. Anywhere with him was great, you know, because we were soulmates. Anyway, we sit down at the diner. I order a vodka martini, but I forgot that he hates when I drink He's kind of like salty that I ordered it. And meanwhile, I'm also kind of salty that I ordered it because this was a diner. So all they had was Smirnoff. And I gave him a pack of guitar picks and he was like, what the fuck? We said no gift. I was like, this isn't really a gift. And he's like, okay, well, I got you nothing. And I'm like, no, that's fine. This wasn't actually. Anyway, but then we get in the car and we go back to my place. But then when we get to my place, I guess something from earlier had set him off because now he's ignoring me. And I'm like, what the hell? But I wasn't like, what the hell? This happened a lot, right? Like soulmate shit. Long weekend. So the next day we both had the day off work. So we just went to bed. Like, I think maybe we hooked up silently because all we did was hook up also. And the next day he locked himself in my bedroom and wouldn't come out. He'd come out for a second and then he'd like remember he was mad at me and then go back into my room. And I was just like, this is crazy. And then 4 o'clock, he finally, like, I guess gets out of whatever mood he was in and we have sex 4 times in a row. And then I drove him home and when we were in front of my house, he was like, sorry about today. And I was like, that's okay. Like, no problem. You're the love of my life. And this is going to last forever. Next year, I'm 26. I'm single on Valentine's Day. I'm actually heartbroken because somehow things didn't work out with my soulmate. That's okay because the only thing better than Valentine's Day, Galentine's. The girls come over. We put on Disney's Anastasia. Treats, pajamas, sweat, all leaning into it. We're all like, ooh, Sex in the City marathon. I almost forget that my soulmate and I aren't together anymore. I'm 27. I'm seeing a new guy, not my soulmate. Guy I just kind of met few months ago and we always have a good time, but we don't have this tumultuous, you know, thing going. Tell him I'm not a big Valentine's Day person. We've only been seeing each other for like 3 months or something. I'm like, I'll come over after work. So I get to his place after work and when I open the door, there's a bouquet of like 12 roses and then a card. The card is sitting in a stuffed hedgehog. That's that year I got really into watching videos of people giving hedgehogs baths. I had gotten this guy nothing. I don't even think I gave him a card. I think there were also candies too. Like, what the heck? And he's like, also, what do you want to order to eat? I'll order you anything you want. And I was like, pizza? Pizza, and we watched a movie. I kind of felt bad the next day because I didn't get him anything for Valentine's Day, and he was like, oh, I don't care. This year I'm 33, spending Valentine's Day with that guy again. Even though I kind of fumbled the first Valentine's Day, he put a ring on it. And it's just so crazy because like, I thought someone else was my soulmate. It begs the question, do 25-year-olds know what the hell they're talking about? Follow-up question, are you dating someone that you're having a bad time with but think they're your soulmate? Double follow-up, is romanticizing tumultuous relationships the death of romance itself? And finally, you might be asking me, what am I doing for Valentine's Day this year? The answer is my husband's coming home and I'm gonna make him watch Jurassic World, which he doesn't want to do. And then we probably won't have sex because I'm pregnant and the size of a fucking house. Just know it's gonna be the best Valentine's Day ever.
If you're ever gonna watch one of my videos, please let it be this one. In honor of Valentine's Day, I'm gonna tell you guys about all the crazy shit that my ex did. So I finally left this winter, so let's just celebrate this together. To start off, one time I put a shirt on that was another guy's. Once he realized, he put it in the toilet, tried to throw up on it, then he threw it out the window and then threatened to burn it in the house. That following day, I wanted him to leave my house and he wouldn't, so I had to call 911. One time we were watching a men's basketball game and I pointed out that they needed a foul to win, and he got so mad at me, looked at me like I was crazy, and thought it was like disgusting that I knew they needed a foul. Meanwhile, I played basketball all of my life. When he knew that I was around anybody with the same skin tone as him or that looked like him, he'd absolutely go ballistic, blow up my phone, like accuse me of like anything and above. For example, one time my best friends posted a story with someone that looked like him and he knew that we were out together. He immediately calls me in the middle of the bar and he's like, who is that? What's his name? What's going on? That night was a whole fight. He was spamming my phone, blowing up my phone, trying to ruin my night. There was like 3 other occurrences like that. He had this shape of cologne, saw this on my nightstand, and immediately was like, what guy's cologne is that? Whose cologne is that? Who is that? Meanwhile, it's literally my Baccarat dupe. It's a female's perfume, but just because it was this shape, he assumed it was a man's and got insanely mad at me. Whenever we were out in public doing anything together, he would make me take singles of him like every 5 minutes because he was just obsessed with photos of himself. Like that's a whole different story. I can't. Going on his obsession with pictures of himself, at any minor inconvenience, when I would text him and say like, hey, I'm kind of upset about this. Can we talk about this? He would absolutely crash out. He'd be like, oh, so you're ending things? And there would be like 30 stories of him on his Instagram story from like a year ago, or like pictures of him that like he looks good. The insecurity was actually the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm actually embarrassed that I'm telling this, but it's so funny. I have so many more that I would love to talk about, but this video just can't be that long. If anyone wants a part 2, let me know. I'd love to entertain you guys with my trauma. But happy Valentine's Day. Break up with that man. He's disgusting.
I'm gonna ask a question. I just want to know if I should be upset. So last night I was asleep, okay, but I'm tossing and turning. So then my boyfriend goes, oh babe. I'm like, what, bro? What? He was like, I just want to let you know, mine tomorrow's Valentine's Day. And I said I was not going to say anything. I'm not begging for no Valentine's Day. Like, okay, it is what it is. Like, I'm not about to I don't care. Like, I'm not about to pick a fuss. So Valentine's Day is the same day every year. So he says, I just want to let you know, I ordered you some stuff like 2-3 days ago, but it's not gonna come till after Valentine's Day. And I said, okay, whatever. Okay, so immediately I'm upset that you woke me up to tell me this, and then I'm like, hold on. I pop my head up. I see him going through my undergarment drawer, getting my size. I said, so you lied. I said, what you going to look at my sizes for if you already ordered it? Well, I just got an email notification about a restock. I said, so if they didn't have whatever you trying to give me, you could have just got something else. And it would have been, you know, like, you could have went and got me something. I'm like, a gift card. You know, I like Starbucks. You know, I like Ulta. Like, a gift card would have been fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've been saying I need more Bath and Body Works. We live around the corner from a Bath and Body Works. Like, it could have been that. You don't have to order something and now it's not going to come to after Valentine's Day. But, like, I just feel some type of way because why would you lie? Talking about something, I just got a restock email. So why you said you ordered it when you know you didn't? Like, and then you got the nerve to show me what you ordered me. I just think it's, y'all, I'm just, I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. Like, at this point, I don't care. I mean, I appreciate the effort, but I don't really care.
Whenever it's Valentine's Day season, I am instantly transported back into time when I was down bad and dating a man who did not want to be with me. And I will never forget sending him a link to the arrangement of flowers that I wanted to receive, because if I didn't do that, then baby, there's not going to be any flowers. And you know, like that, you know, that hurts to think back on, but you know, we live and we learn. But it's more hurtful like towards me, like what was I doing in that situation? But I think a lot of us can relate to that and have been in situations where we tell ourselves that doesn't matter and we don't care about Valentine's Day and we don't even like flowers. I think this is actually a good opportunity to be really real with ourselves. Are you really okay with sending a link to your own Valentine's Day flowers or making your own Valentine's Day dinner reservations? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say you deserve better than that.
As far as Valentine's Days goes, I've had some pretty good Valentine's Days over the years. My husband has always done very well for Valentine's Day, and I feel like it's so easy, like even just to do the bare minimum for Valentine's Day. So if your significant other didn't get you anything for Valentine's Day, they suck. But I'm gonna take you on a trip down memory lane and tell you about the worst Valentine's Day I have ever had. This is middle school for me. I want to say it was 7th or 8th grade. I had a really big crush on this boy, and he was coming over for Valentine's Day. And I don't know if this is still a thing because I've been out of the game for a while. Back in the day, there was like a talking stage and then there was a dating stage. And we were in the talking stage, which we were like, should we get each other something for Valentine's Day? And I was like, you don't have to, like, don't worry about it. And knowing that I was going to get him something for Valentine's Day. Because I was trying to be cool girl. I was trying to be pick me. I'm not like other girls, but I was in fact a lot like other girls. Like you could have shown up to my house with one singular flower and I would have been okay. Well, my parents let us like watch a movie in the living room. Couldn't even tell you the name of the movie that we were watching. I was just so excited that he came over, was so giddy, like even though he didn't give me anything and I got him something, I was so excited. And then he leaves, his brother comes, picks him up. I'm like, oh my gosh, this was the best time ever. Like we're gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend in no time. Obviously, I tell all my friends on my Razr flip phone that, you know, he came over, like we're probably gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend soon, da-da-da-da. And then one of my friends is like, I heard that he also hung out with so-and-so like the day after. So I think we hung out on a Friday. He ended up hanging out with another girl the day after. Oh, I double booked Valentine's weekend. Like, are you serious? And I was your first stop, but I was not the last stop. And I think when he left, we like hugged goodbye and maybe he kissed me on the cheek or something. Like it was very, very innocent. But I get to school and I'm kind of freaking out internally on the inside because I'm hearing that he hung out with this other girl, but she hasn't shown up to school yet. So I'm like waiting to see. And the girl that was best friends with her was like, they hung out. I saw the hickeys on her neck. Like, I don't know what he's telling you, but they're like together. Besties, I was heartbroken on the inside, okay? Because she showed up and homegirl had hickeys all up and down her neck. So they clearly had such a good time. And mind you, this was middle school. And now that I think back to like the stuff me and my friends were doing in middle school, my son's now almost in middle school. I'm like, I'm keeping an eye on that because you're gonna be like me. I'm like crying on the inside, right? But on the outside, I was very much like shove everything down, have to play it cool. and have to be like, whatever, like it doesn't matter, I don't care. And I did end up telling her that like we had hung out too, and she just didn't care. And I was like, well, I care, so I'm gonna like end things with him as much as you can end things with somebody in middle school. And then I went home and on my MySpace I put, I'm single again, back on the prowl. You are 13. There is no proud, bestie. Like I said before, y'all, I was so dramatic in middle school and even high school, but like middle school, I thought I was main character of like a rom-com. And so like everything was heightened for me, but I also had to like play it cool when on the inside, like I was internally dying. And then that night, my brother and his girlfriend ended up watching One Tree Hill with me because they knew I was sad. It was so pitiful. That is why I do not make fun of like my sister, or I'm not gonna like be like, oh, it's just like kid stuff whenever my kids are going through it, because I still to this day remember like how I felt in middle school when I was like wronged or like heartbroken, and it is real, and you're going through like all those hormones, and it is crazy, and middle school is crazy. This was when I was like really, really, really big into Twilight, and my dad was like, remember, Edward would have never. I was like, Dad, you're so right. You're so right. Anyways, now I'm going to have lunch with my forever Valentine, who I love so much. Brag on him really quickly because I got home from vacation and he had cleaned the entire house, top to bottom. He did all the laundry, folded all of it, put it all up, had the kids like organize their rooms, like he really did the most. And he also had flowers and candy sitting there ready for me. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether that be with a significant other or even if you're just hanging out alone, you've got yourself a nice book, ordered yourself some good food. I'll be back tomorrow with a book story time. I'll see you later. Bye.
What's up, sluts? Happy Valentine's Day. In honor of Valentine's Day, I'm going to admit this, even though I would rather drag my bare coochie across Skid Row than tell you guys this, but I am anyway, because honestly, this story speaks more to what I was willing to accept in the past and how I literally did not think I deserved more. I like literally thought that this man was my end and be all. Bitch, I was sick of the fucking head. Sick of the fucking head. Okay, so basically, this Valentine's Day, I was really, really, really sick, bitch. Like, I got, like, the flu, and I was debilitated. Me and my roommate were sick for, like, 2 full weeks, so I told him, I was like, hey, like, you know, you have work, like, I don't want to get you sick, because this is a horrible sickness, like, I think I'm going to die, and I love you, but, you know, say your final goodbyes at, my funeral or whatever. Anyways, he's like, no, like, he's like, I want to come and see you, and, you know, I want to drop off, you know, your gifts, and, you know, I want to show you that I love you. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, and he's like notoriously a bad gifter, right? Like, I could get into it, but he's never gotten me a good gift. Anyways, I don't know why I was expecting for him to pull together on Valentine's Day, but he did not. He in fact did not. So he's like, no, like, I want to come and see you, you know, I love you, all this shit, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, he pulls up to my house, and he pulls up to my house with not soup, not flowers, a Lego set. A Lego set from Star Wars. Have I ever seen Star Wars to this day? No, bitch. Thank you. Bitch, I said thank you. I said this is the best gift ever. And you know why he got me a Lego set? Because he liked Legos, so I offhandedly said, oh, like, I would really like those like flower bouquet, like Lego sets, whatever. He eventually got me one, but he shows up to my house, not soup, with no flowers, literally just with this like Star Wars Lego set. And he's like, oh, like, I wanted to get you the flower bouquet Lego set, but they were sold out, so I got you this one instead. And I said thank you, bitch. Yeah, it's hilarious in hindsight, because like I said, that's what I was willing to accept at the time. But bitch, I'm really glad I took a step back from centering men in my life this year. So happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, I know I look insane. I want to share my worst Valentine's Day story. This is about 10 years ago. Thank God I have learned and grown since then. But back then, man, I would fall for anything. Like, a man would tell me that the sky was green, and I'm like, you're right, babe, it is green. At this point in time, I'm in a long distance relationship. He lives on the East Coast. I live out here in California. And one thing that I started to pick up on, there was a pattern of lying, but it was especially about
lying about things that he was going to do for me. Whether it was, I'm going to come out and visit, I booked a ticket, wouldn't send me the confirmation, like the plane confirmation, nothing. And then, oh, I have to reschedule. I can't come out. I can't do this. Hey, I bought you a gift. I bought you a birthday gift, a Christmas gift. It would never come. It would never show up. And it's not about the gift. Like, I'm not a big gift person personally, but it was more about the principle of getting me excited about something and then it not coming through. I would ask about it and he'd be like, I can't believe you would, like, you're being so greedy right now. I can't believe you did this. So like, it was like, just this like power play. So at this point, we already have 2 instances of him saying, I got you a gift, and then nothing showing up. We had my birthday, we had Christmas. And each time he's like, well, I'm just going to bring it out when I see you because I totally booked a flight and I'm absolutely going to come visit you in California soon. So now it's Valentine's Day. I work in an office at this point in time and I'm seeing every bitch in my office get a fucking garden delivered to them. Like they're getting so many flowers and I'm sitting here waiting because he told me a few days prior, I got you something for Valentine's Day. It's coming your way. I can't wait for you to see it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Again, nothing. The whole day goes by, nothing. He gives me a call at like 5:30 p.m. my time. Hey, I just want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. And I'm like, thanks, babe. Love you. Cool. I'm thinking maybe the gift is at my apartment, probably got delivered. I rush home. I'm so excited. I go to the mail room, nothing. I go to my mailbox, nothing. I go to my front door, nothing. And I feel so sad. I'm just so disappointed that he didn't make me feel special on Valentine's Day, but that this is what he does. He gets me excited and then takes it away from me and then punishes me for feeling sad about it. So I text him and I'm like, hey, I feel really dumb. Like I really believed you this time that you were gonna come through with something. And he's like, I can't believe you would accuse me of lying. For your information, I actually bought you an iPad and it just got delayed. But here you are accusing me of not getting you a gift at all and calling me a liar. I need space. And I'm like immediately like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Like, and like in hindsight, it's like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you tell me it got delayed? He's like, I don't want to talk to you. So Valentine's Day, I'm crying. My best friend, thank God, she's spending her first Valentine's Day with her man. She's like, yeah, Jazz is coming with us. We're going to go get tacos and margaritas together. And they let me sit there and cry my eyes out in some Mexican restaurant. And I'm so grateful that they let me tag along. So the next day I text him, I say, hey, packages are getting stolen at my apartment. I know you're mad at me, but if the package gets delivered today, please let me know. I will leave work. I will go get the package because I don't want it to get stolen. Yeah, I had the package re-delivered to my apartment. Pause. This man worked as a chef. So if you've ever dated a chef or know a chef or you are a chef, you don't have time. You don't have a lot of time. And so the fact that he's like, yeah, I called UPS and had it rerouted to my apartment. So you had time to do that, but you don't have time to rebook the flight that you had to cancel to come see me. Huh. Also, he sent me a screenshot of the Amazon purchase, but like, it was cropped. This was so long ago and I didn't realize I should have looked at it a little bit more deeply. I was just immediately so mad at myself and like trying to placate him that I did not look into it further. I am convinced at this point that was a fake screenshot. Because also, once a package ships from Amazon, you cannot reroute it. That is part of Amazon's policies. Also, oh my God, quick tangent. In December, around Christmas time, when he was supposed to come out and see me, he did this whole thing of like, I gotta cancel my flight because I got offered my dream position at the restaurant, which was like executive chef. I got offered it and they told me that I can't take the time anymore. So either you can have me choose you in our relationship or you're going to let me choose my career. Obviously, I'm going to let you choose your career. Duh. I found out years later, thanks to LinkedIn, that he did not become an executive chef for like 5 more years after that. Anyways, he's like, I redirected the package to my place. I see red. I stopped talking to him. The next morning, I wake up early. I'm not a morning person. I woke up early. The moment Target opened their doors, I was there and was like, where are your iPads? I went and bought myself my own fucking iPad. As soon as I get into my car, I get some text message from him being like, I think we're just in 2 different positions, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Best of luck to you. Wish you the absolute best. Take care. That was it. Or so I thought. He attempted multiple times to try getting me back, and like told me so much as like, the second I sent off that text saying that we needed to end things, like I regretted it immediately, and all I do is think of you, and all I do is want you. Okay, whatever. Since then, he 100% keeps tabs on me. I know he does. And the way I absolutely know that is when I broke my leg in 2023, my mom had a GoFundMe going for me, and that man donated $100, and put his whole name. Like if you actually wanted to donate for the cause and like to help me out, take care of some of my bills, you would have done it anonymously, but you wanted me to know that you donated. Like, could this have been worse? Yes.
I'm like high-key traumatized for Valentine's Day because I had like the worst Valentine's Day last year. Probably shouldn't even tell the story, but I'm gonna tell it. I was invited to go speak at a conference last year, which was like one of the biggest things that I've done in my career. It was really exciting. The conference like was on Valentine's Day, so I was like, this is great. I'll bring the person that I'm dating. We'll spend Valentine's Day together in Vegas. It'll be awesome. So we're about to leave on this trip, and I just like casually get a little bout of food poisoning, which lasted the entire trip. So that was absolutely terrible. So just know all of the events that are going to happen after this, I am literally, it's coming out. It's coming out all ends. So before we go on this trip, the assistant that I was working with at the time informed me that her boyfriend was approved to go on this trip with us. And I was like, well, considering this is my business trip, I think it probably would have been better if you asked me if he could go on this business trip with me. But, you know, it was already done, so I was like, let's make the most of it. So I'm off the airplane, Ubering to the hotel. I'm like ready to really hunker down in my hotel room, bathroom, if you know what I mean. And this assistant, allegedly, all of this is alleged, has been spending so much time with her boyfriend that she did not get our room situated. So we got there and it was another 3 hours until we got into our rooms, which was a little bit excruciating for me as I was having to use the lobby restroom for quite long periods of time. And even at this point, I was like, okay, we all need to chill. Everyone's kind of like stressed out. And I am generally a pretty patient person, so I didn't really let this get to me. I was just kind of like physically a little bit not feeling well. So we finally got to the hotel room and I had like an hour to get ready for dinner, and also Cirque du Soleil invited me to go see their Michael Jackson show. So I start getting ready and everyone was asking me what I wanted for dinner, and I was like, let's go get sushi. Everything's coming out of me crazy. And I've had such a stressful day, and the only thing I want at the end of a stressful day is sushi. So we get to the sushi place, my assistant, her boyfriend, nowhere to be found. Sorry, she was not my assistant. I'm remembering now, her title was coordinator. And it's not like she was like waiting on me hand and foot. Like she just needed to coordinate the events and like the hotel room and the flight and stuff like that. Sorry, I've been thinking about assistants recently. I don't know why I said that. So they show up like 45 minutes late for dinner, which like we only had like around 2 hours to actually be at dinner before we had to be at the show. And I was assuming maybe they would just like get a drink or something, because like ordering a whole meal and eating it that fast, like it just wasn't possible in that allotted time. Her man shows up and literally starts complaining that we are eating sushi. In my head, I was like, you were not even invited to this by me. The waiter literally comes to us and he says, do you have anything with bacon in it? And to that, I like didn't even say anything, because I think I was just really kind of shocked by the whole thing. And I was just like, okay, like, okay. Their food got there, they scarfed it down. We got there a little bit late. It was a little nerve-wracking for me because I'm a very time-oriented person, but you know, I was trying to be as understanding as possible because, you know, there are other people on this trip. And I didn't want to be the one freaking out, even though looking back at it now, like it was my trip. So maybe I had a little bit of a right to freak out. The next day is when everything kind of went downhill. So go to part 2 and I will finish my story.
Okay, y'all, so in honor of Valentine's Day, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to tell the story about my worst Valentine's Day experience. So yeah, hold on. Okay, y'all, so the person I was dealing with at the time, y'all, the whole time we dated, he never did anything romantic-wise for me. Like, I said we would go out on dates, but I don't really count them dates because I always would pay for the dates. So I'm like, he's never really did nothing romantic, really never bought nothing for me, whatever. Which I was cool in the beginning because I'm the type of person, like, my love language is gift giving and buying others and giving to others. Like, that's my love language. So I don't really care if nobody does it for me, and I don't really expect nobody to do it for me. But y'all, this is the 3rd year, and it's just like, you need to do something, Bookies, because what is this? Like, so y'all, I was mad. It was literally the day before Valentine's Day, and I was mad. Me and him got into it. We didn't get into it about no Valentine's Day stuff, but then I started thinking about the Valentine's Day stuff on top of what we had got into it about. So I just was really on some, like, you know, like, either you better give me something for Valentine's Day or I'm done with you. Like, that's just how it was. And I even told him that. Like, I did not care. Like, that's just how it was. Hold on. Okay, so like I was saying, y'all, it was literally the day before Valentine's Day, and that whole day, like, we just was into it. Like, we weren't arguing, but we weren't speaking, and that's really because I was giving him the cold shoulder. Like, I was giving him the silent treatment, not because of the Valentine's Day stuff, but just because it was other stuff going on in our relationship. And then on top of that, I just was thinking about the Valentine's Day stuff, so it just made me not even want to talk to him for real. So what was I doing? I was not talking to him. And that night, he came home late. He came home at 11 o'clock at night. And like I said, I wasn't messing with him, so what did I make him do? I made him go sleep on the couch because you're not gonna come in my room, in my bed. You're gonna go on that couch. So that's what he did. And then literally it hit 11:50, and I just hear a whole bunch of rattling and stuff in the living room. And then literally like 10 minutes later, he came in there and he gave me the gifts and stuff. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was happy, but like my reaction was like, it wasn't like the, oh my god, like babe. It was like, yay, like I was happy, but in the back of my head, something just wasn't sitting right. Like I couldn't be as happy as I wanted to be for the gifts because something just wasn't sitting right in my gut. Like I knew something still was wrong, and I was trying to figure out what it was because I couldn't put my hand on it. But I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna spoil the moment, y'all. He ended up taking a picture of my gift and he put it on his Instagram. But y'all, I peeked when he posted it, y'all, because I ain't looked side-eyeing the phone. When he posted it, y'all, he posted it to his close friends. So now, y'all, eyebrow already raised because I ain't no dumb bitch. Like, I have brothers. I'm not no dumb bitch. So I know when a nigga's playing in my face. Y'all, so I don't say nothing because I already know what's going to go on. I'm like, you know what, Lord, I don't got no proof, but once I find this proof, thank you. Because if you want to be honest, I really want to break up with him. I really want to be with him. I just don't got a reason to break up with him. So this is going to be my reason, so I don't feel bad in the end for doing what I'm about to do. Y'all. Okay, y'all, so the next day I go to work, and me and my 2 coworkers that I'm close with, like, we just all at work, and we just all talking about, you know, Valentine's Day, because now is the actual day of Valentine's Day. And y'all, I'm telling him, I'm like, y'all, I feel like in my gut feeling like he done gave another girl a gift. Y'all, right when I said that, literally 15 minutes later, I went on Instagram to look at his page to see what he posted on his main story, because something added up to me from the previous night. Like, now I'm on alert because I'm trying to see what's tea. Y'all, why he posted another gift? Now, the gift was smaller than what he got me, way smaller, but it's the fact that you posted that gift on your main page, but why you didn't post the gift you gave me on your main page? Why you posted it in your close friends? Y'all, I still don't say nothing. Man comes out of nowhere and he calls me while I'm at work. And when I get on the phone with him, I'm being dry because, once again, like, I'm not stupid and you're not going to play me. I know what's going on. And once I gather up all my evidence by myself and I get to the bottom of this, it's a wrap for you. Y'all, he called me at work and he's just like, oh, I just dropped my mama her Valentine's Day gift off. I'm so happy. Y'all, him and his mama don't even get along with each other. He don't even talk to his mama. That was lie number 1. Never even gave her a gift. So I'm driving the phone. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I'm being dry, y'all, because I'm already knowing it's some BS. Like, this man is a liar and he's not a good liar. And yeah. Okay, y'all, so since I didn't have no proof that he was doing anything or cheating on me, I just dropped the situation. But, you know, I prayed on it and I gave it to God and I dropped it because I didn't have no proof. So I'm not going to keep accusing you of doing something I don't have no proof. Like, so y'all, moving forward to the month of April, he ended up getting arrested, like, towards the ending of April. He ended up going to jail. And when he went to jail that same night, some girl reached out to me on Instagram, and I didn't know who this girl was. I didn't know from a can of paint. But as the night proceeded on, it clicked in my head where I knew the girl or where I seen the girl from. And where I seen her from was this nigga's Instagram page. When I was on his page, I seen her in his follows, and I seen that he was in her likes and her comments and shit. So I'm already knowing, okay, some must be up, but we gonna get to the bottom of this shit because y'all both got me fucked up now. So I ended up texting her back, and y'all, that's literally when everything just got put out on the table. Like, she told me everything from the stuff that he was doing way back in 2022. Mind you, I've been with this man since 2022. So she was telling me the stuff he was doing back then, all the way leading up to current. And I just was like in shock because I'm just like, yo, this nigga wanted me first. Like, what the fuck? I didn't even want this nigga. For a whole year, I did not want this nigga. And he come back year 2, trying to hop down. And I finally give him a chance. And this is the shit he pulled. Like, not even pissing me off. So I didn't even get mad at her. Like, she didn't come disrespectful, so I didn't get mad with her because my issue not with you. I got mad with her because she been knowing about me. She said she been knowing about me since 2022. So you been knowing about me. So that's why I really wasn't even trying to conversate with her no more. Because I'm just like, girl, like, you being dumb. Like, you know about me and you still decided to talk to him. Like, that's still the problems you wanted to put on your plate. Okay, cool. Y'all, the next day, I kid you not, when he called me from that jail phone, I shut that shit down. I told him, I'm not coming to get you. You're going to stay in jail because look what the fuck you did. Bitch, you got me fucked up. And y'all, that's why I say, like, I don't ever want no man, everybody, nothing for Valentine's Day again unless you're my husband. Because you niggas is just so grimy. And y'all, like, when I got on the phone with him, y'all, I couldn't even be mad. All I did was laugh and start congratulating him. And he was so confused on what was going on. And when I told him, I'm like, oh, she told me everything. He's sitting there, oh no, she's lying. I swear to God, he's crying on the phone. When I get out, I swear to God, I'm gonna show you everything. She's lying. No, nigga, you're lying. Now sit your ass in that cell, nigga. Like, oh my God, you niggas. Like, I don't, that's why I don't like Valentine's Day. But I don't want to do Valentine's. Like, I'm not attending the Valentine's because for that reason, like, I'm still traumatized from it. So, yeah, no.
How I found out that I got cheated on Valentine's Day. This was a very long time ago, so I am definitely over it, but I think it's a funny story to tell. This happened with my ex. We were together for 4 years. He lived in San Jose. I lived in Stockton. We did meet in San Jose. I'm from San Jose, but I moved out here and then we're doing like long distance. He planned this whole dinner. He took me to sushi. He got me a nice gift, paid for everything. And I tell you guys, the bar was on the floor. He was treating me so nice to the point that it made me suspicious. Never does all of this. I know, I'm so embarrassed, but I used to pay for mostly everything, so it was definitely like out of the ordinary for me, to the point where like my intuition just went off. Something is wrong. And since I lived in Stockton, I was planning to sleep over that night anyway, so I thought in my head, as soon as this man falls asleep, I am gonna check his phone. He had this problem with this one girl that he would talk to all the time. He actually became best friends with her on Snapchat. I wasn't even his best friend no more, so he would Snapchat her more than he would Snapchat me, and I already had a problem with this, but again, I was the cool girlfriend and I thought it was okay and normal for guys to have a ton of girlfriends. So the first thing I go do is go check his Snapchat, and he had deleted messages with her, so I didn't really get to see anything. Just started to think, I'm like, this guy posted me today, like posted our dinner date, so I'm gonna check who did he block from watching his story. Look at the block list. This girl was blocked from viewing his story, and I just knew. My stomach dropped to the floor. I had a feeling where I just knew he was cheating on me with this girl, because why else would he not want her to see our stories? I literally wake his ass up in the middle of the night and I'm all like, just be honest with me. Seeing that you blocked her from watching our stories, did you cheat on me? Like, I just said it like that, and he just stares at me with like a blank face, and you could tell he was like contemplating, and he just admits that he cheated on me. I was just like, what do you mean? Did you just kiss her? Did you just go on a date with her? He was like, no, like, I cheated on you. I was so heartbroken, but I wanted to know everything. Like, I made him tell me everything. When did it happen? How did it happen? What did you guys do? Where did you guys do it at? Like, he did tell me, and then he started breaking down. He was hitting himself. He told me that he wanted to off himself when he did it, that he regretted it so much, and he was begging me not to leave. Such a narcissist. Like, I should have been the one crying. I was really young and dumb. Never again. I did stay with him for a little bit after that, but it wasn't because I wanted to. Honestly, in my young head, I didn't want him to be with that girl. I stayed with him, but I like came up with like my exit plan. Like, I started slowly checking out. I started going to the gym, going out with friends. At some point where I actually started talking to a few other guys. So when that happened, I was like, okay, it's time for me to just exit out of this relationship. I did break up with him. Glad that I left when I left, because as you guys know, like, I've lost over 80 pounds since I broke up with him. I built a platform. I became a coach. I'm currently with this beautiful, tall, blue-eyed, sexy, protective, masculine man who takes care of me and treats me like a freaking queen. You know, we all live and learn. Now I'm a little more wiser. Sometimes you need to get your heart broken by a frog in order to find your Prince Charming. So everything happens for a reason, ladies.
Want to know why I have standards? Because when I was younger, I didn't. I was dating a guy at the time, and while he managed to ruin every single holiday, this one takes the cake. Valentine's Day. We'd been dating 5.5 months at that point. He made no attempt to bring up Valentine's Day plans, and he didn't even text me Happy Valentine's Day. While I was a little bit bummed, I tried to convince myself that it wasn't a big deal. He realized I was a little bit bummed, so he asked me what I wanted to do, and I said just the same stuff. Let's go to the gym and get dinner. So he brought me a donut that somebody had brought into his work office, and then we went to the gym, got dinner, and then he finally posted me on his Instagram after months of not. And that detail is important. It's gonna come back around. Later that night, we're on the couch. He was being a little weird, but whatever. I was showing him something on my phone. I had a message request come through. I swiped it away, thought nothing of it, and then he instantly just got into this serious conversation with me. He said that fucking up Valentine's Day made him realize how much he cares about me, how important the relationship is, blah blah. Then he finally tells me he loves me for the first time. Morning comes and I finally look at that message request. Yep, it's the hey girl text. Sorry girl, didn't know you had a girlfriend. I told him I was gonna say something to you and he begged me to not. She had also sent photos that he had sent her, and my little fucked up brain knew they were old photos, so I just assumed it was before me. I told him she reached out, sent photos, and he was like, yeah, that was before you. Then she deleted his name out of the contacts so that I could see the phone number and sent timestamps with the motherfucking date. So I showed him this, and he doubled down and straight up lied to my face and said, no, that's wrong. This was before you. Now you can tell I'm starting to question a little bit, so when I went to work, he FaceTimed me so that I couldn't call any of my friends, and then he showed up at my work bawling and threatened suicide. I was in social work at the time, so he manipulated me once again with my career and said because I'm a social worker and I know how to help people, I'm the best person for him because he's struggling and he really needs me right now. And guess who fucking stayed? I knew I was too weak to leave. I stayed in a relationship where I lost myself, I was manipulated, gaslit, and I was abused, and I fucking stayed. I have such high standards now because I know firsthand the pain, the effects, and the trauma that comes when you don't. And while I was manipulated, I allowed it. I lost myself, I was living in daily anxiety, and I was being treated like absolute shit. I have standards now because I knew the only way to ensure that that never happened again was to not fucking allow it. I am in control, and I fucking love the shit out of myself now because there was a time where I clearly didn't, and I paid the price. And thank you to that girl.